I really don't know if we're gonna make it, and tension's getting high here. This entire car has to get put together, and I'm going to definitely try my best to get it done. Today is gonna be key though. If we don't have this done, then I just don't think it's gonna make it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the shop. Saturday morning, May 18th. So much to do, no time. Dad is on his way. Well, I think he just pulled in. Lots to do. Oh my god. Yeah, lots to do. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is May 18th and it's 9:43 in the morning. I've got the shop all cleaned up. Dad's on his way over. I really don't see how we're gonna make this deadline of June 8th. Like, it's got to be before June 8th so that we can do some test and tune. I don't see how it's going to happen. The car has 0 bolts in it. The pan has nothing in it at all. The body has nothing. The body needs to be ground and prepped for paint. The pan needs to be cleared one more time. There's a lot to do left just bodywork wise before this even starts to get reassembled. On the reassembly side, I have had the entire suspension powder coated plus some. I did a lot of powder coating. I wanted to make this pan as pretty as possible, but I'm super excited to show you guys the pan and all the different colors and stuff. I think that's really gonna pop and make this thing stand out. It's its 50th birthday this year, so I wanted to do something special just for this car. Wheels, I'm having a hard time with because you can't custom fit wheels in a rush. That needs to be, you need to take your time. So I'm debating, I think what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna keep the wheels I have, probably just get them coated white for now, run them for a little while. I've ordered new tires yesterday for those wheels. So we should be good just to run them for a little bit. I also have to order spacers to push the wheels out. The front wheels are touching on the struts. And now because the struts are all powdered, can't have that. So I've ordered spacers. Everything from CIP1 is in. All the parts are powdered. There's a lot going on. I probably have 6-7 boxes in my basement of just suspension parts and bushings and bearings and brake lines. And I'm really excited to start the assembly because I know the pan's gonna look real fancy. But I'm getting tired of bending down here to talk to you guys, so I'm just gonna get to work. Dad's on his way over. I need to make coffee, and yeah, we'll catch up on the parts and all the powdered parts and stuff later. Once they start to go on, I'll go through everything head to toe and show you guys exactly what I'm doing, what I'm adding to this pan, and what we've powder coated, and all the colors and stuff, right? The engine tins are back, and the entire engine's gonna be white. So that's gonna be awesome. I'm super excited for this. So I'm just waking up. I know it's 9:43, but I'm always up late. So last night I was up late trying to organize everything for this because I've got so much going on with this right now. Over the next 2 weeks, this pan, car, boxes in my basement, C-can, like all that has to become a total vehicle and drivable. So I'm a little bit stressed. I don't think we're really gonna have enough time, but at the end of the day, like if I was super stressed, I probably would have woke up earlier and got to work earlier. I'm pretty calm about the whole situation. I just know over the next 2 weeks I'm gonna really have to put in some time. So okay, let's get to work.
Okay, well, they're starting. Start me up.
Fire it up. What are you welding? What are you welding?
Door pillar piece. Look at that. The helmet is set exactly where I left it 3 weeks ago.
Well, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Come on. All right, I gotta move this pan over. I moved it over a little bit, so I'm gonna move it over, and then I'm gonna have to steal the air. Because usually I blame mechanical stuff instead of myself. So. Alright, so Dad's doing some welds around the A-pillar and B-pillar on the driver's side. He's not having a great morning so far. I'm gonna jump in and start cleaning up that patch I did a while ago on the rear, on the passenger side, and we're just gonna work on all four corners, try and get this thing cleaned up and a little bit closer to where we need it to be.
It's out of gas.
Really?
Showing it.
All right.
That's not funny.
I guess what can you do when you live in a shoe, right? Go to the store and get more gas.
Well, where?
What do you mean? PD Mart's open all day. It's not like the worst situation. There's worse things. We have all of our parts. PD Mart's open. Apparently the welder's low on gas. We just got gas, so I don't know. See, that went pretty quick, didn't it?
Yep.
Why? You've been just using it to blow fires out, or what?
I don't understand why that went so fast.
To be honest, I looked at it the other day and thought it looked low, but. So here's a bit of an example of what Dad's doing on the other side, because he's over there welding. This is the passenger side. They need to be filled and cleaned right up nice, so he's over there filling the low spots and getting it so we can clean it up nice. I'm jumping back here to clean this spot up and get it all ready for you know, a coating. We're actually going to coat these in like a bed liner type thing, coat the wheel wells, because it's already been done and the tape line's right there, so we'll do the same thing. And yep, four corners, all four corners to work on. So it's basically empty is what you're saying?
It's pretty close.
Yep. So we may have to get some more gas just to continue, but we've been grinding. I've been taking the tops off with the big grinder everywhere, wherever there's, you know, big welds, in here, along the heater channels, and Dad's been on the other side with the air grinder, poking at everything over there and cleaning up wherever he can. So don't do that. That's, yeah, these are the two bad spots, but underneath is fine. Remember, we checked underneath, so it's the skin on the outside we might have to make a new piece for.
Yep.
On both sides. But I might have to run and get gas for the welder, because we're obviously going to have to weld a bunch on this nose cone as well.
Yeah.
Just keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Alright, so that good, eh? Isn't there like a subframe underneath that? That's just a piece of metal covering it? Because from underneath, it looks like the subframe itself is solid.
Yeah.
It's the covering of the wheel well.
I don't know, we're gonna find out right now.
Alright, it is way too tight over on that side, so I'm just gonna let him chop over that the nose cone apart on the driver's side, and I'll show you guys when it's all chopped apart how bad it actually is. It's pretty tough. So it's not really looking that great. There's a lot that has to come out here. Well, that had to come out. Dad's just trying to make a bit of a square for us to fill back in, so it's not a total mess when it goes back in. But we knew the cone was a little bit tough on both sides. We just, I guess, didn't realize it was this bad. But underneath is strong. You can see that. This is all good. It's just what's on top, which is like that's your inner fender, inner wheel well. So it's just a skin, but yep, It's getting pretty extensive. Just adding to the list here. Just keep adding.
Zip
what?
tie.
Oh, zip tie.
It's getting near. It's getting near.
Near where?
Near the other side of the car.
There's some good rust because it's like Mars over there.
Oh yeah.
So this is how bad that actually turned out. We pretty much removed that whole front corner, and now we're just gonna have to remake it, which isn't gonna be easy, especially when we got to do it on both sides. So we've bent up this piece for around this edge, and then we're gonna make a plate. It'll basically be in 2 pieces. You're thinking, Dad, or 3?
Probably 3.
But good news, we were able to access right here the body bolt that was stuck. So we got the body bolt out, and I've lubed up the receiving end. I'll get the bolt out of the receiving end, then we can weld it back in before we weld that plate on. So that's good news at least, but this is not fun. Dad's had an evil laugh over here all morning. Just an evil laugh. Oh, that phone.
Yeah.
You're busy today. So yeah, really not that great of a morning so far. We've had to cut a lot out of that front driver's side piece near the nose cone. Dad's not too impressed with it, but we just have to make it, and then we're gonna have to make the passenger side as well because it's not too great up there. So it kind of is what it is, and hopefully we can get them to look fairly similar side to side. I'm sure we will, but we definitely didn't want to get into this because we have so much to do just to put it back together, but we're still working in the opposite direction, cutting more apart. So we want to use a little bit of the welder gas before we go get more, because we do have a little bit remaining. So we're going to jump on that, do a little bit of welding, then I'll go get more gas and keep going.
Right there.
So that's going to be our outside lip, and then we'll have to like obviously build that whole face piece, but that lip tucks underneath this nose cone and then comes up a little bit and runs along the frame flat. I'm sure this is obvious, but by cutting the metal a little bit, it allows it to bend nicely, and we can kind of recreate that arc. Trusty hammer.
Trusty hammer. Okay.
So that lip's gonna have to be cut down, eh?
Strip. So we need a strip then, say this wide by this length.
This wide.
Yep. About that wide. This length.
Okay. That's $2.70 for those 2 discs. So you only get 2. And you gotta stop melting them to the thing.
I know.
I just put that head on there. That's a brand new head. Because you broke the other one this morning. You're hard on tools, man. You're just hard on tools.
Shit disc.
great, right? Floating vise.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know, I need to fix the vise. I've never really used this, to be honest with you.
Well,
it's not great.
Not great. It's junk.
But I'll get a new one, okay?
It's junk.
Yep, well, not everyone's as established, okay?
Established my foot. This is just brutal.
I know.
Like it's not even attached to the bench correctly.
Well, it kind of... it kind of is.
Well,
I don't know. Anyways, that's the spacer, or the receiving end.
What?
That we're trying to take the old bolt out of. That was extremely rusted. So we've had to heat it up and break it free, and then we cut the top off the rest of the bolt that was out the other side because we couldn't actually pull it through. So we're just trying to get that off because it's got to go back into the body before we weld that panel back on. And it floats. I had to think about that, but that mount actually floats. So there's no welding it in, it's just putting it in the right spot.
This thing is a piece of shit.
Same with that truck next door.
What? Heat it up more, I guess.
Still not coming out?
Nope. I'm gonna weld to the vise here shortly.
Okay, so it finally came off. This piece has to go back into the body before we weld that patch on. That way the pan bolts to the body using this. It's a floating mount that pinches the body in between it. So we needed this out. So Dad's over there still working on that front corner, but I'm getting hungry. So if you don't have one of these hot diggity doggers in your garage, I've always had one, you need one. 2 hot dogs in the middle, buns on the outside. It's the best setup for the garage. And you just slam it on top of whatever you're working on and fire it up. A little burnt, a little crispy. Hope you like it crispy.
Really? Right there, eh?
Okay. And the other thing we wanted to visit, but I didn't say anything because how the hell they don't believe this guy.
Well, that's right. What? Like.
That's looking pretty good though. So that's a patch within the subframe, or the frame, I guess you can say. And then we've got to do a patch over top, which is considered a body pan. But right now we're still working on the frame section because there was a little rotted chunk. So we just cut that rotted chunk out and replaced it with another chunk, and yep. And I also cut the main patch that's going in there, the main body patch. We obviously have to do a lot of trimming to this, but this is the first starting point of that main patch that's going across the outside of the wheel well. But we are getting kind of low on gas, so I'm gonna have to run out and get gas soon so that we have it for tonight and tomorrow. With our tight deadline, we need the gas, so I didn't notice. We're chewing through it though. I would say it's the way we're welding with the all the tacks. You can hear the trigger going on and off, on and off. I do the same, but like nothing against the way Dad's doing this because I do the exact same. But it seems to be chewing up a lot of gas. And that little bottle there runs at about $100 a bottle just for a refill. So that's our second bottle now we'll have to go get. So this is bottle number, well no, we used a quarter of a bottle, then this entire bottle, and now we're gonna go get another bottle. So before we weld that outer patch on, Dad got the subframe all kind of sealed up and repaired. So we're just gonna put a little bit of primer on top of the subframe before we put that patch on, just to give it a little bit more protection for the future, because you never know what the future holds. Right now we're just winging it for that patch and making little tiny cuts as we go here, trying to get it to fit as nice as possible before we weld it in. So yeah, it's going. It's not really going great, but it's going.
Nice if you didn't spray this though.
That's pretty darn close, yeah. For just winging it. So Dad, while I was gone getting gas, Dad cut out the passenger side as well. Same idea, but he was able to save a little bit on the bottom here. And you're leaving this?
Yeah.
So we're going to leave all that. The driver's side is tacked in place, but because I took the gas, he couldn't continue to weld. So that's roughly what the patch looks like so far. It's definitely looking pretty good.
These holes.
Right, so we'll have to re-drill the holes out.
Yeah, which is going to screw us on the other side.
Can't we come from the inside out?
We're going to have to.
And at least mark them, so then we can drill from the outside in.
We're going to have to on this side because there is no other way to do it.
Right.
And did you think we saw maybe those vice grips around?
Oh, you want those little ones? Yep, I'll get them. You can't be in here right now. You gotta get out of here. Let's go. Alright, so it's 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Not getting ahead of myself. It's, where is this? I gotta change that. Alright, so it's 8 o'clock and we've actually gotten, well, Dad's done these patches up front. This main patch on the passenger side, and then this patch over here on the driver's side. Now obviously a lot of cleanup still to do on those, but they're in, so that's awesome. He's moved into the inside for the firewall, and I'm gonna start cleaning up the passenger side patch here and moving on, getting it cleaned up. I'm on fire patrol in the front while Dad finishes welding up the top of the firewall. That's all we've been doing. Pretty much all afternoon we've been just welding and grinding, So I didn't record a lot of it because it gets pretty repetitive. It just becomes welding and grinding. So yeah, we're just finishing up the welding on the inside around the heater channels and the firewall. We've finished up a lot of the welding and the bulk of the grinding. Still got more to do. Ooh. the bulk of the grinding for the front two wheel wells, and we've done those patches now. Awesome. The back is also patched. Everywhere is pretty much patched now. We're just finishing it up and then grind, clean it all up nice, and get it ready for sealer and primer. But none of it's been very fun. None of it's been great. The welder's been acting up. Don't really know what that's about, but seems like it's a bit of an electrical shortage, I would say. Maybe it demands a 20 amp and I'm only running a 15 amp wires, but yeah. So we're getting it done. It hasn't been a great day, and we didn't really get a lot done moving forward. We moved backwards a lot to fix these two patches up front, but it needed to happen anyways, so it is what it is. There's two of them down there.
Well, we definitely have to fill that in. Fuck. Definitely have to fill this in.
You're on a make-work project over there, aren't you?
Well, I can see outside right here.
I can see outside right here too.
Yeah, well, unfortunately. Oh, I can see outside on this side too.
That's why I made those pieces.
Well, son of a...
That's...
I don't think that that's very nice.
No, they have to be filled. That's why I made those pieces. They're like flat nickels. My knees feel like they're popping out of the socket.
Yep. Did you get it beat on both sides?
No, I'm not on the top yet. I gotta smash the top in. Ow.
Yeah, there was a couple of them. It's hot too.
So we were just looking around and we found one more spot under here as we laid and just checked everything out. We found one more spot that we wanted to address before we you know, got cleaning everything up. Unfortunately, the previous owner looks like they just patched over a patch and didn't actually deal with the issue, so yeah, you gotta cut that stuff out, man. It's now 10, I don't know, 10 something. 10:30. And this body has beat the crap out of us all day. It's just one thing after the other. So yeah, still going, 10:30. Okay, it is midnight, 12:05, and we did not get where we wanted to today. I am exhausted. I'm barely keeping my eyes open type thing. I wanted to clean the garage tonight, but I don't really think I'm going to get the chance to, so I'll just get up early, start fresh again in the morning. But the nose cone is capped in. We did get both sides patched in on the nose cone. We got a bunch of work done inside along the firewall and the wheel wells, but yeah, didn't get to where we wanted to get to today, and I'm filthy. I'm exhausted. Honestly, it kind of pushes our timeline shot. So I really don't know if we're gonna make the deadline, but today was supposed to be like, we were supposed to be painting this thing, and we're nowhere close. So I don't know, not sure, but Dad got metal in his eye, so kept telling him to go to the hospital, and he just kept complaining. So hopefully he goes and gets his eye checked out. I'm gonna go get some sleep, I guess, and start fresh early in the morning, continue grinding, getting this thing cleaned up and ready for the wheel wells. The wheel wells are gonna get coated first in some sort of like bed liner, and we're gonna do that, tape it all off, do it all in bed liner. Then we're going to paint the heater channel, and the car is roughly gonna stay looking rough, the body. I'm gonna Bondo and fix all those spots, but I'm not gonna be able to paint the car obviously by the time we go. So it'll be a miracle if I can actually get the body on the pan, get the suspension all set up, and get it actually driving decent, let alone the motor, because we found some issues with the motor. Let's dig into that. So we took apart the motor. We found one cylinder number 3. That cylinder has never fired. It's super clean, and you can read the stock number on top of the piston. So I'm going to assume it's never fired. The other cylinders look dirty. You can't read the stock numbers on them. They just look completely different. So this one cylinder is super clean, and we're assuming has never fired from when it was rebuilt. We were told it was rebuilt before we got it, but now there's a couple things that could be causing this. We did find a bad wire, and the coil, or the cap, looks pretty iffy. So I'm praying that when we put it back together with a new cap and wires, that cylinder does fire. But if it doesn't, then I have no... Technically, I can't use that motor. I do have another motor that might save me, but I don't want to use it. It's a stock 1600 that's got stock valve covers on it. Like, it's all stock. Everything's... This motor's had some work done to it, and it's a little bit hopped up. So I'm hoping that it's a simple fix, but you never know. Anyways, I'm exhausted, so I guess I'll just see you guys in the morning. Alright guys, I am back in the shop, and it is Sunday morning, May 19th. I went pretty hard at it yesterday with Dad. Didn't get a lot of filming done because it's essentially just grinding, cutting, grinding, cutting. But I'll walk around and show you everything we did yesterday. Today we have to get this thing ready for lining in the wheel wells, or else it's not going to be ready for German air. We have a real tight deadline, and if it's not ready today, then it's probably not going to make it. The body's what's holding us up, and I think we're both exhausted. Dad's just pulling in the driveway, actually. I'm beat, but over the next 2 weeks, this entire car has to get put together, and I'm going to definitely try my best to get it done. Today is going to be key, though. If we don't have this done, then I just don't think it's going to make it. So yesterday we repaired the nose cone, both passenger, this is the passenger side, and driver's side. They both need a lot of love still, but looking way better than they did for sure. So basically all the patches are done up front, and well, everywhere else all the patches are done. We just have to clean everything up before we line the wheel wells. And like I said, if we don't get the wheel wells lined today, it's just not gonna work. Morning.
Yeah, it's morning.
That's what I was just saying. If we don't have the wheel wells lined today, it's not gonna make it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. But yeah. So I've just cleaned up a bunch. I went to bed last night. So Dad finished up in this wheel well here, and he's just added a little skiff of Bondo to make everything a little bit nicer for sure, and then we can sand it down. He's gone across quite a bit with just a little tiny skim coat of Bondo, and then I'm down here trying to fix this piece. So I don't really have enough of the thicker metal to make it happen, so I've done some piecing together, but don't judge it yet because I'm not done. So but yeah, wheel wells are looking nice, at least. Alright, I'm sorry guys, I haven't filmed much today at all. Hasn't really been our day. We're both tired, we're both a little bit grumpy, and Dad just wants the tunes all day, and I don't want the tunes, I want the camera, so we're clashing a little bit, but we are getting stuff done. The wheel wells are about to be lined. We've fixed all the patches. We've done a lot of work, actually. I can take you around and show you quick. Dad ran home to get some more of the like bed liner, undercoat lining type thing for the wheel wells. I'm just gonna mask off the wheel wells right now and get them all ready, and then we're hopefully gonna spray this thing along the bottom of the heater channels and the wheel wells and underneath the back seat area, basically to get this sealed up so we can at least put it on the pan, and then from there there's a lot more to go. But right now I'm gonna start masking off those wheel wells and get them ready to be sprayed. Dad should be back shortly, and hopefully we can get this wrapped up, because I know he's stressed and I've stressed him out. I posted some stuff on Instagram and I know it's stressed him out, and I did it honestly just to provoke Instagram. I wanted more people to get interested in this, and I have 2,900 followers or whatever on Instagram, so I put a story up basically saying how stressed I was, and truth be told, I'm not. If the car doesn't make it, the car doesn't make it. It's not the end of the world. I think my dad's more stressed at this point than I am. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It is now like 6 o'clock on Sunday. We're probably 2 days behind. I really don't know if we're gonna make it, and tension's getting high here. So I mean, all I can do is try, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna put this pan together throughout the week. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to clear the pan. It's gonna be a busy week for me, but that's because this weekend didn't really go as planned. We did get a lot done. I'll take you around and show you right now. Alright, so passenger front wheel well, the patches are all cleaned up. A little skim coat of Bondo's been added, and then it's all shaved down. Same with the driver's side front, same thing, a little skim coat of Bondo, and it's all been sanded down. I'm just cleaning up all this right now so I can put tape in here. I'm gonna run tape line right along that edge, and then this all gets coated. The bottoms of the heater channel get coated right here down, because the steps go there and you don't see that, so good coating on there. And then this wheel well is also done. We've added a little skim coat of Bondo here, patched up all the corners, and they're just all getting ready to be sprayed. So, and then tonight I'm going to be working on the inside of the car, seam sealing, cleaning all this up throughout the night, and fixing the harness. So that's to come, but at this point I have to mask off those wheel wells because he's going to be back and he's in go mode. He wants to go, so I better get to it. So we're just spraying the bed liner type stuff in the wheel wells. It's supposed to dry hard, but she looks pretty oily right now. For sure, pretty oily.
I brought a brush.
Like brush it on?
Yeah.
Why don't we try, is it thin enough to try it in a gun? Fuck.
I don't think it was. I thought we ditched it after.
Oh. Don't do that ever.
Still clean though. I'm gonna be trying to spray it all. Really? Keep going.
I actually don't mind this. That's what it means. I also feel like I'm not afraid of it. Because I'm like, if it runs, it runs. Fuck it. So I rate that in nice. So that's how you should almost do it, I guess. With this gun. Or with this material. The other side looks way better. Okay, so when we were putting on the truck liner, the bed liner, I guess it's called, we used this a different gun at first that's for frames and coating frames, and it spackled everything. And then I got the bright idea to put it through one of our old siphon paint guns. It's a little bit thicker, so we weren't sure if it was going to actually work or not, but it did, and it actually misted everything on very nice, like paint. So the heater channel on the passenger side looks awesome, but the wheel wells have that like speckled paint running look. We'll see how it dries, but I just coated the wheel well on the driver's side with the paint gun, and it came out awesome. But obviously at this point we have to match the driver's side to the passenger side, so Dad's over there giving it that speckled look, and then I'm gonna come through with the paint gun again and mist everything on nice. But I'm just coated, and it's fun, heavy, gooey, slimy stuff. So hopefully it's supposed to dry hard, so we'll see, but keep trying. Did you speckle it all up? But you didn't do the heater channel, right? Like the other side.
No.
Why does it look better? What the this is actually speckled versus the other side we had like splotches coming out, so we had a run look. That looks what the front door is that, eh?
I don't know.
That looks way nicer. That's
This is turning out really nice.
That's a speckled look. Maybe you should speckle that side again.
Mike.
That's probably the speckler. Huh, I think that's a good idea. Because obviously we got to match side to side, right? So they would have been nice all shiny, but they do have a couple defects. So I was kind of hoping to hide just a little bit. This stuff is so messy. Should've wore a mask. Clearly should've wore a mask. So ironically, I know I just said a couple minutes, well, a little while ago, that putting this stuff through these guns was working fine. As soon as we got low, they both just froze right up, and now they're not happy. So I was able to run some thinner through this gun. That gun has given us a big not happy hard time, but this gun seems to have come around. Fingers crossed. I don't want to jinx myself on that, but might have. Anyways, everything on the car is drying, and we've still got one wheel well back here, the driver's side rear, to coat a little bit more, but it's looking pretty all right. We don't want it perfect, we want more of a speckled look, but this side came out a lot cleaner for sure than the other side. There's the rear looks pretty good too, but the other side actually is drying a lot nicer than it was. So it doesn't look too bad. And then the heater channel turned out like flawless. Looks like we painted it. And the back wheel well is really nice speckled. So really only that passenger side front gave us issues because the gun bit us. That's the second time the gun's bit us. The first time was on the pan, and second time on that wheel well. So yeah, there's no sanding this stuff off. If you're taking it off, you're taking it off. So I mean, I'll figure that out down the road, but I'm pretty good with this. This looks awesome. A lot of work to get it to this point. So we're just trying to see if we can clean the guns out and get that back wheel well done. So Dad just went ahead quickly and peeled off all the masking tape on this side. It's kind of dark over here right now because we have this door open, but I'll show you the driver's side as we're tearing it off here. There is some overspray, as we assumed, because we didn't really go crazy with the masking off here, but Dad's just wiping it with some famous brake cleaner because we care so much about this paint. So long story short, the body is going to get redone, just not right now. This year most likely, but not right now. So anyways, peeling off the masking tape. Oh, a lot more overspray than I thought. It's all brown. Oops, that's not good. Huh. Clearly should have paper bagged the rear too. Are you good with it?
So far.
So far? So we took all the masking tape off. Now remember, there's a gasket that sits along the edge here, and then the fender goes on, and the fender butts up to about this line here. So this is underneath the car, this is on top of the car. But I've got a lot more to coat tomorrow. The outside, I would say, wheel wells, heater channels, below the heater channels, all in the bottom of the wheel wells. That's all been coated nicely now, and all the patches are sealed up. So that's a good step. Tomorrow morning, this has to get clear coated, and some more of the spraying on this thing. I've got to mask off some spots tonight and keep going tonight still with the interior, because if I can clean some of that up, get that all ready to go, then I can coat that in the morning.
You know what's funny though is there's no difference in how it was raised. I guess the hot dogs were on the bench.
Sticking sharp tools into electric objects too. Look at this, brilliant today. They're almost done. And I get my little snack.
I think it's terrific. Compared to what was there 4 months ago when we bought it. But
I am plugged up. Today was not that great, spirits wise. It's midnight, and I've cleaned the shop now and started to spend about an hour stripping the inside, all that sound deadener garbage stuff that's in the luggage area. The stuff in the wheel wells, I thought it was going to dry hard, but it's still kind of tacky, so I'm not sure if it's just going to stay tacky, and if that's the case, then it's the frame stuff I hate. So yeah, because nobody likes to get dirty when they touch stuff, and so if that's going to stay tacky, you'll get dirty all the time. But I'm going to leave the fan on, and hopefully it hardens up a little bit. Maybe it's just tacky where I laid it thick, I don't know. But yeah, I gotta prep the entire inside now, seam seal it, get it all ready for paint in the morning. I'm probably gonna go get some sleep here shortly, and then I guess seam seal, clean the whole interior in the morning, and get it ready for... I was gonna coat it with the same stuff as the wheel wells, but if it's not drying hard, then I'm just gonna prime the inside, paint it black, and I don't know, I might just prime it. See, this body's not done. The body has a long ways to go. When we get back from Niagara, this will probably get ripped off again, and the body will get done completely. Part of me's not wanting to do too much that we can't undo, but whatever. And the cage, Dad didn't really want the cage to come out, but why can't the cage come out, is my theory. The heater channels are back on. Why can't the cage come back out? The only reason we put the cage in there was for the heater channels. So we put the cage in the moment before we cut the heater channels out. The heater channels are back in there, they're welded solid. Why can't we cut the cage out? It's in my way, right? And I don't like hitting my head off it. So I think I'm gonna cut it out in the morning, and then strip everything, seam seal it, clean it all nice, prime it and paint it if I have to, or just prime it, because I'm going to coat it with, not coat it, sorry. I'm going to put those sheets of sound deadener all throughout there. So I don't know if I need to like paint and clear it, or I don't know. I'm not too knowledgeable on that yet, so learning. But I have paint, prime, and clear here. I gotta make one more order. I have a couple little things I gotta order like tonight. Well, it's already tonight. Tomorrow, I guess, at this point. But after tomorrow, hopefully, the pan will be ready to put back together. And then all the powder coat parts, the purple, the white, all the black, everything's gonna go on this pan and make it so pretty. I'm very excited to show you guys that. That's I think that's gonna be a game changer here, so stay tuned for that one. But yeah, and then once this car's done, hopefully I can put it together fairly quickly. I don't know, my first time doing it, so like I said, there's no bolts in this pan. I'm gonna clear it one more time, and then it's time to start putting it together. We'll see how it goes. General wrap up of the day, I guess I can do that. I named the car. The car's name is Miller because we've welded on it so much using the little Miller welder. So, and it's blue. It's not Miller blue, but it's blue. So, yep. We finished all the patches, cleaned them all up, seam sealed the outside, went wheel well to wheel well, cleaning everything up and shaping it, making it all match. Then we seam sealed everything front to back on the outside. Still have more seam sealing to do, like underneath some panels, but can do that, as we said, afterwards. And yeah, my face is so dry. Everything's dry. Yeah, my lips are cracking. But yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. And like I said, I love my dad. I really appreciate all the help. Like, beyond appreciate it. And I'm truly glad he stayed today because I was pretty grumpy. So, yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Dad.